Why do we fear the Uncanny Valley? I actually didn't even want to watch this, but I'm kind of dry on horror games. I haven't played a lot, but I also don't know what anyone really wants to see right now. So I'm kind of waiting for a good one to start popping that I haven't seen. I've seen Sharks and Minnows and stuff, but okay, I'm going on a tangent. Let's get the video started.
Take a look at this image.
I'm
How does
already
it make
scared.
you feel?
I'm already terrified.
Spooked? Frightened?
I gotta turn this down.
Bewildered, maybe?
I gotta turn this down.
This is the Uncanny... Okay, you all probably know what the Uncanny Valley is. But if you don't, it's a psychological theory that explains the discomfort people feel towards
I don't even want to look at
almost
this.
human, but not quite. As shown in this graph, as something becomes more human-like in appearance, people respond more positively to it, until a certain point where we find it disturbing. This dip or valley in affinity is called the Uncanny Valley.
Chills,
Take for example dolls. At the midpoint of the graph, we
all
might
dolls
have
are
something
creepy.
like this.
All dolls that look like humans are creepy to me. I don't like dolls.
You can tell that it's not human, it's cartoony, and doesn't have super realistic features. But then we have something like this. Now, me personally,
The music
I
isn't
find this a
helping.
little
The music
creepy.
isn't helping.
I don't know what it is, but there's something in those eyes, man. I don't like it. Now, it does vary depending on the person. Obviously, these toys sell, so not everyone finds these creepy. But there is a reason dolls are a big part of the horror genre. In this video, I'm not going to be focusing on what the Uncanny Valley is, as I kind of just did that, and plenty of others have already covered it. Instead, I'll be exploring the different theories that try to explain why we fear the Uncanny Valley. What in our evolutionary past or psychology
He's just talking normally,
gives
but I
us this
can't
fear
look
of
at
things
this.
that look almost human?
Okay.
Will we uncover the answer? Well, you'll have to stick
Keep
around
Thanos
to
on
find
screen.
out.
Keep Thanos on screen.
We dive
Keep Thanos
into
on screen.
the mystery of the Uncanny Valley.
Don't show me. No, don't do this. I'm not. Oh, it's a montage. Okay.
Fair warning, this video will contain imagery that people may find disturbing, so leave now.
It's
If you
already.
don't like that,
Bro.
You know what? Actually, let me get this out of the way. That was the scariest one. Not that bad, right? Anyway.
That
back to
was
the theories.
terrible. That was actually terrible.
The theory of mate selection suggests that uncanny features make us feel uneasy because our brains are wired to avoid potential mates who show signs of low fertility, poor health, or weak immune systems.
No.
I can see how
No.
this could make sense.
No, I don't want to do anything with anyone that looks like this. Not because it's wired in our brain and they're just not attractive. No. That's not why. Maybe because they're just borderline. I don't even have a reason for it. Actually, I don't know why this is scary. Wait.
People have a
Break it
natural
down to me.
reaction
Hold
to
on.
others they would or wouldn't like to bedoingle with.
Badoingle.
More attractive
Wait, what?
people
I've
are
actually
received
never heard
more
that word.
positively.
Badoingle.
Bedoingle.
Profoundly and immense. This is fake. There's no way.
With. More attractive people
An
are
emoji
received
and
more
a
positively
Google
in our
definition,
minds,
bro? I've
and
never
less
seen that.
attractive people, not so much. I mean, look at modeling, movies, TV, even politics. A lot of it is cultural, sure, but our brains are wired to favor more attractive people.
That's
Though
true.
I don't really agree with this theory. For one, we can find people of a group we aren't attracted to unattractive or frightening. Like, we can see straight dudes bullying other straight dudes for being unattractive. Or I guess in the case of the Uncanny Valley, a straight girl can find Momo scary. And for another, I mean, come on. You really think people are scared of these things because they don't want to do the devil's tango with them? Speaking of the devil.
Not listening. Not listening. Not listening.
Many creatures from folklore and religious texts.
Oh my god, I'm only 3 minutes in. I'm only 3 minutes into the vid. I'm already terrified.
Fall into the Uncanny Valley. Creatures like the Nephilim and the Devil from the Christian Bible, the Golem in Jewish folklore, or the Wendigo from Algonquin cultures. All of these are human-like creatures with something unsettlingly off. The Nephilim and Golems, for instance, are giants, larger-than-life versions of human beings.
The reason I don't think this one really counts is because not everyone is religious. That's literally it.
Devil has the form of a man but with animalistic features, and the Wendigo, as described by Basil H. Johnston, has skeletal, emaciated
Like, I knew the
features
Wendigo was a thing. I didn't know it was in any religious text, though.
as if it were a
Thought it was
hollow
just a
shell of a
supernatural thing.
person. A common theme in these creatures is the idea of soullessness or a broken soul. The idea that they are human-like beings but distinctly lack the sort of thing that would make them truly alive or human. Kind of like how I feel when someone says Mosasaurus or Pterodactyl's a dinosaur, which they are not. But soullessness is also something we associate with robots or dolls. Human-like, but completely artificial entities. This theory, I like to call the religious theory, suggests that our fear of the uncanny comes from a deep-rooted fear of
Don't
the
jump at me,
soulless,
gang.
demons, fallen angels, golems, beings that resemble us but lack what
I
truly
feel like she's
makes
gonna
us
jump at me.
human. Personally, though, just like the last theory, I'm not totally
How
convinced.
did you even make a video like
It's not
this?
that I dismiss the theory because it's religious. Rather, I find it hard to believe that we fear something simply because it lacks a soul. After all, there's a lot more concrete evidence backing up other theories. Still, it's an interesting perspective to consider
What
as we
game am I
explore other
spectating,
theories
man?
that
This
may
looks
be a
insane.
little more convincing.
Music change for. What do you?
The
Was
predator
that
theory
Diddy?
suggests that there used
Oh,
to
I'm
be
not.
human-like creatures that preyed on humans in the past. Similar to the religious
not looking
theory,
at
a
this
lot of
road,
people
gang.
associate things like
I'm not
giants,
looking at this road,
demons,
gang.
mythological creatures, and cryptids.
I'm
This is
listening,
different
though.
from the
I'm
mimic
listening.
theory, though, which I'll get into later, as that these are just creatures that look like humans and are not intentionally trying to mimic humans.
Okay, wait. Okay. So, this predator theory, I could kind of get. This kind of makes sense to me. I don't know, like that, way back when we were preyed upon, like. But I don't see how it would stick with us through evolution that long. But this would make sense.
The only evidence people really have to back up this theory, though, is saying something like, "Oh, well, so many cultures across the world have stories about humanoid creatures. They gotta be real, right?"
I hate that opinion.
We have stories about humanoid creatures today. A bunch of them. Take the rake, for example. There are people who believe this creature exists despite obvious proof of it originating on the internet, on 4chan, or Slenderman. 2 girls stabbed their friend over this guy. If you believe this theory, I don't blame you. It spread a lot across TikTok and Instagram,
You can just.
which,
Okay,
if you've
why
seen
would
my
you
other
even search
videos,
this on TikTok,
you should
bro?
know is kind of a theme. Now, I will say, there is actual evidence of humanoid creatures existing
is.
with our ancestors. They're called Neanderthals and other hominids. Now, this is another theory people throw around, the other hominid theory, as I like
I have
to
a
call
friend
it.
that looks. Oh my god,
The theory-
perfect picture, perfect flick. I have a friend who looks just like this. He actually has a channel. His name's I Snort Twinkies. Check him out. He looks exactly like this in real life. Just has dreads.
That we developed a fear of ancient hominid species because they look like us, but just a little off, and we competed with.
So I'm not scared of this.
It's not a bad theory. I mean, some of these guys do look a little freaky.
To me, this
Personally,
is just
I
history.
don't
Like,
find
I'm
them
not
that
scared of
scary.
this.
But one of the main problems I have with this is, if we were so freaked out by these guys, why the hell do I have Neanderthal DNA? I mean, my ancestors bred with these guys. Plus,
Primitive
some of these
Huz.
things that are part of the Uncanny Valley do not look like some of these hominids.
Don't show me that picture. The disease theory. I can't even comprehend.
The disease theory suggests that our fear
Yes,
of
more
human-like
Minecraft
objects
clips,
and
please.
creatures might come from a prehistoric instinct to avoid corpses and sick people. And it makes sense when you think about it. Robots and dolls that
Guess
look
that
almost
sounds
human
a
often have
little
stiff,
okay.
unnatural movements and lifeless expressions, kind of like someone who's sick or dead. The theory is that our brains still pick up on these signals as a warning, just like it did for our ancestors. Even though now we're dealing with robots, dolls, weird CGI, and sick people. I think this theory does make sense for a lot of cases. Take this for example, a prop of a severed head used for the show Dexter. Yes, it's fake, it's not real. Please, don't block my video again. It gives off some uncanny vibes, and it is supposed to be a recreation of a dead person, so it fits this theory.
Yeah, but it's
Honestly,
not that bad.
a lot of
I wasn't
Uncanny
scared of
Valley
that.
images apply to this theory. For some
Don't
examples,
show. No,
Momo with the shrink-wrapped skull-like face and bulging eyes. This drawing by Sinister Scribbles,
eyes are
again,
closed.
a
Eyes
shrink-wrapped
are closed,
skull-like
man.
face with bulging eyes.
Oh, yeah, eyes are
That
closed.
old YouTube video called My Dead Great-Grandma's Coffin
what?
in My Own Backyard, where that dude kisses a literal corpse. I'm not going to get more into that. If you know, you know.
He should be
And even
canceled
the
off of
police
YouTube.
sketch of the Baton Rouge serial killer almost looks like a pale, dead body. It's even got the dark lips and exaggerated eye sockets. So, mystery solved, right? Well, I'm not entirely convinced. I know I said this for every other theory.
Though I don't really agree with this theory. Personally, though, I'm not totally convinced.
I hate that opinion.
Why the hell do I have Neanderthal DNA?
But I do definitely think this is the strongest theory so far. But there are a few examples that I
guess.
can't quite fit into this theory. Specifically, CGI and deepfakes. Take a look at this image. Or this one. Some may say they're just a little weird,
Yeah, they're
nothing
just a
too
little
bad.
weird, they're not.
Others may say they're scary. Personally, I don't mind them too much. I used to watch the Polar Express every Christmas as a kid.
Yeah,
so
I know
maybe
why
I'm just
Polar
used to it.
Express was.
But I
Polar
think we
Express
can
was
all
kind of
agree
creepy.
there's
It wasn't like
something off about
scary
them.
though.
But it's not because they look diseased or dead like the last theory. They just look off.
Yeah.
So what could explain this?
Why are you turning your head? It's a video. You're recording for a YouTube video. Shut up. You watch this video, staring dead at it, locked in at 100%. Come on, bro. What do we got? The mimic theory. Nope. So my voice sounds weird in this. Oh, don't scare me like that. I'm watching a horror video. Close the door. Hurry up. Oh, I'm watching a horror video and I heard something moving. Don't do that, bro. I gotta get back to closing my eyes, though. I don't want to get jump scared.
Homo
What the
mimus
fuck
phallicis,
is that?
or more simply known as the doppelganger. A fictional
What
creature
the
concept created by
fuck
user
is that?
Ohio
Oh, this was just,
Pingu69,
he just made
what a
this.
name, on r/speculative evolution. The doppelganger is a mammalian creature that evolved a particular fancy for human flesh, and relies on it solely.
I don't like horror movies. I barely like this video. I'm only watching it because I had to sub in for some horror gameplay that I didn't want to do. They should make this into a horror movie. This sounds like something that would be a good horror movie. A creature that but it's like an actual creature. It's not a humanoid thing that's shape-shifting. Its face just looks like this and it can open its jaws.
As its food source. Evolving in Africa alongside humans, the doppelganger gained adaptations to help it hunt humans in the dark. A lanky body with long limbs that both helped it climb and reach speeds up to 50 kilometers per hour.
Holy.
Cushioned feet that absorb sound, and of course, a face that mimics that of a human. But would you be fooled by this? Probably not, right? I mean, it's got no eyebrows, it's completely pale, the eyes are a little far apart, it overall doesn't look too much like a human. But that's the point. This creature uses the confusion that the Uncanny Valley generates to bewilder its prey before attacking. Now, of course, this thing isn't real, but it's a good introduction to this theory as it distinguishes itself from the predator theory. This creature evolved adaptations to look like humans because it hunted humans. Things like Neanderthals and other hominids look like
Something
humans
like that would make
because
sense.
we have a common ancestor. Or if we go the religious route, things like giants and folk creatures, for the most part, don't look like humans to trick them. They just look like humans because that's how they were created. That is what distinguishes the predator theory from the mimic
Can you
theory.
stop showing the
Now, the
forest?
first idea in this theory is that in our very distant past, as in when we were little rodent things or even earlier, there was something that adapted to look similar to us in order to trick us into trusting it and prey on us.
Yeah, no.
Similar to the doppelganger mentioned before,
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't really
way
believe
further in
that.
the past, and we've just retained that fear. The second idea is that something in our recent past has given us this fear, aka something that is purposely, with thought,
What is wrong with bro?
imitating humans. Obviously, the main idea of this theory is something supernatural, like a shape-shifting cryptid, or alien, or something like that. But it could also have relation to the other hominid and
Side
disease
note,
theory.
when I was younger, I would accidentally watch videos like that. Like of people like they're just like in the forest or something, and then they like pan, and there's just a creature there, and then they just turn and start sprinting. It was the scariest shit ever.
It could be that these other hominids, or maybe even other humans, wore the skin of humans in order to intimidate us or other tribes, and it has been ingrained in
That
us to
would be
fear this
terrifying.
imitation. There isn't much
That would be
evidence back.
okay. That would be terrifying though. If like someone like was wearing someone else's skin, I wouldn't want to see that in real life.
Backing up this theory, there's no evidence of non-hominid creatures
don't turn
mimicking
into- don't turn
humans,
into
nor is
something.
there any evidence of the supernatural doing this.
Alrighty.
I mean, there's videos online, but most of that shit's fake, so not much of evidence. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you probably know that I
I
like
think
to
this is
debunk
just the
stuff.
forest.
The Philadelphia experiment, Deloitte ape, and the theories of the body girl are all things I've tried to go through and find the truth for. With this, you'd think I'd do the same. I mean, it sounds kind of absurd when you look into it. Humans wearing other human skin, a supernatural shape-shifting creature, I mean, come on. But one night, I was really thinking to myself why I feared the Uncanny Valley. I was looking at this image specifically when I really tried to think about it, and I realized this doesn't make me uncomfortable because it looks like a dead person or soulless,
Same.
or because I don't want to badoingle it, but because it looks like it's trying to mimic a human. And that is what makes me uncomfortable.
I can
and
agree
yet,
with that.
I'm still not convinced. I know, I'm sorry. So you know what? Enough of my opinions. Let's look at what the science has to say about it. Okay, so I recorded and edited that last part before even writing this part. Little did I know I would not find much of anything that I haven't already said. I did find that the science for the Uncanny Valley is quite debated. In fact, the very existence of the Uncanny Valley, separate from other fears, is pretty debated. The most accepted theories by scientists seem to be the disease theory, and to my surprise, the mate selection theory. There are a lot of
What?
other theories
How are
out
those the
there.
top
If
two?
you want to do
I would
more
think
research,
literally
I've got
anything
some
else.
links in the description. But according to most sources I found, it's most likely the disease theory. But there really is no solid consensus on why we have this fear, which is why I made a video on it, and why it fascinates me so much. It's something we really don't have a good grasp of. And it's something creepy
Yeah, I feel like this
that
is a
we
really
don't have
good
a good
idea.
grasp of. So it really, it just really gets me interested. But which theory do you believe in? Let me know in the comments. I know I kind of ragged on a couple of them, but if you believe in one of those, you do you, man. I get the perspective coming from all these theories. Some of these things look in between human and animal, physically unappealing, soulless, predatory, disease, mimicking humans, whatever. Me personally, I'm gonna go with the disease theory. I know, it's the one the scientists agree on, blah blah blah. But I also really like the human likeness theory. I think that one,
Yeah.
it's
that
very
human likeness
basic,
one
but
was
it
like,
makes sense
yeah.
to me.
That's the one
If
that
you
makes
like this
sense to me.
video, leave a like. If
No,
you didn't,
don't.
leave a comment, letting me know why.
I feel like he's gonna jump scare me at the
or
end.
even just say fuck you, I don't care.
I know you see that button right there. Go ahead and like and subscribe. And tune in for more.